you raise hand, we'll get to questions. And obviously, congratulations to Coach White on the newest addition to he and his wife's family. Only a couple of days old now, or a week, right?
Yeah, it's last Friday. So little Lydia, she's working on a week.
John Clay.
Brad, let me second those congratulations. On Auburn, obviously they're a high-tempo offense. They really like to play fast. What kind of problems does that present for a defense, especially for a defense that's playing its first game of the year?
Well, it's a huge challenge. Whenever you don't have time to basically get your feet set, your eyes in the right place, because you're just trying to get the call, you're trying to get set, make whatever adjustment with whatever check may be. Tempo always creates a little bit of issue, in terms of communication, both from the sideline to the field and then on the field amongst the players. So it's a challenge that we've really been repping with our guys, but, that's one of those, that's one of those tempos that until you experience it live, you can't rep it quite the same in practice. We can try to get it as close as we can, and we've attempted to, but it'll be a whole different speed once you're out there on Saturday.
Josh.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, Josh.
Kind of following off what John was asking, what can you glean from an offense when you're looking at them on tape? It had to replace as many linemen as they do up front. I mean, I know scheme-wise you can probably see a lot of things, but, things that specific guys do, I would imagine it's kind of hard to plan for some of that stuff.
It is, obviously when you've got changeover of personnel, it makes it a little bit more difficult in terms of, how are you going to attack those individual people? But like you said, the scheme is the scheme, and that's what we're going to have to really focus on, in attacking the scheme. And then our players are going to have to focus on winning their one-on-one battles. And if there's film out there, on those players, that's what they study, and, they try to find whatever tips and tendencies they can. Obviously replacing the linemen that they have now, most of them were all able to play snaps, at certain places, most of them obviously at Auburn, but, Council was up there at Akron, and, so he's got film from up there, and you just try to piece it all together. Again, it's very much like a puzzle, and you try to take each individual piece it all together to make the picture at the end. And I think our guys have done a good job there. We've had to go to some different places, watch different teams, but that's part of it. And obviously we've had plenty of time to do that, so our guys are ready to go.
John Hale.
Brad, what were you most pleased about in terms of the last month of preseason practice for your defense? What was the biggest step you think that group took over that time?
I've been really proud and impressed with how they've practiced. They've showed up every day, wanting to improve, wanting to get better, taking the coaching points from the meeting room. We've talked on, in these, press conferences all the time that we have not been perfect. There's always corrections to be made. And sometimes you can get pushback, or, guys want to take a day off. This group right here, they've showed up every day and they work hard. They're drenched with sweat by the end of practice. And so it's a pleasure to come out, there and work with them and coach them. And, I think our staff has done an unbelievable job. Their energy that they bring each and every day. I'm just really, really lucky, to be around both the players and the staff. And that's what excites me. And, whatever happens on Saturday, whatever happens throughout the year, I know the kind of the quality of the men that we have, in the locker room downstairs.
Eli.
Hey, Brad. We found out this week that the team is going to be honoring Chris Oates week by week by wearing his number on the field. First, I just want your reaction when you found out that the team was going to be able to do that to honor him every week. And then second part of that, when you guys head into this season, what are you missing by not having him on the field? How vital was he to the defenses, how he's progressed over the last couple of years?
Well, first and foremost, obviously, Chris is always on the top of our mind. He's a vital part of this team. And even though, he may not be with us on the practice field sort of physically, his presence is always felt. To be able to have that 22 out on the field will be something special, and it's going to be emotional, and you're going to see it out there. But I'm really excited to be able to see that. I know that each player that gets to wear it is going to take great pride in wearing that. And so, obviously, his development as a player was off the charts from where he was as a freshman to where he developed as a sophomore. Obviously, we were, I think he was positioned himself to have a huge junior campaign. But he's the definition of a fighter. And, we draw strength from him, and, to be able to see that 22 running around is going to be special.
Larry?
Yeah, Brad, I was wondering two things. First, father and a grandfather myself, how in the world can you be concentrating on trying to coach football with that little one at home right now? Have you been through it enough? You're used to it. And then two, if you could talk about trying to get pressure on Bo Nix.
First and foremost, I've just been absolutely blessed with the most wonderful person ever in my wife, Kate. And so to be a mother of four and the way she raises them, I couldn't be luckier. I don't ever have to worry when I'm here at the office, and I can focus on Auburn. And her folks are in town, which is nice to help out, because when you got four running around, and it's hard. But as far as getting pressure on Bo, you've got to be smart in how you do it. He's so good and he's so athletic in terms of being able to extend plays, make plays, keep plays alive, make throws down the field, give his receivers a chance to catch a ball even when they're covered. He's able to find that space. You've got to pick and choose when you want to try to pressure him, because it's funny when you watch his film, there's plenty of times when there's free runners and there's free blitzers that have a clear shot, and he's got a knack to make a guy miss. Just a subtle move, a shoulder move, he'll slide up the pocket, down the pocket, around. He's very much a gunslinger in that regard. He's kind of, when you watch him, he plays sort of like how Brett Favre played the game, just loose and free and fun. It's, he's really a savvy young man back there. Really has good control of the offense. So he presents a huge challenge. And there are going to be times that you want to say, hey, let's go get him. But you got to, in the back of your mind, when you do that, and if you can't get him to the ground, you're exposing yourself, in the back end. So, it's going to be that delicate balance. And, hopefully when we get a chance to put our arms around him, that we can get him to the ground.
Thanks.
And
Hey, Brad, what challenges do Seth Williams and Anthony Schwartz present? Obviously, Bo being able to throw it downfield as well as he's able to, and just having to face two star receivers early week one.
Yeah, a huge challenge. Really talented. Obviously, you could argue that they're two of the best receivers in this league, and really for different reasons. Schwartz with his speed and what he can do and how he can stretch the field vertically, and Seth, who can, really make contested catches. He uses his size really well. You don't see him drop balls. So both of them, present a unique challenge to our guys and, to how, we're going to approach this game. And then you couple that with having a guy that can facilitate in Bo Nix, and it's an extreme challenge for us, coming week one. I know our guys are excited for that challenge, but they know it's going to have to be a down in, down out battle. And just like in any situation, any game, there's going to be times that they make plays. That's why they are the players that they are. Our guys have to respond, and when it's our time to make a play, we've got to make a play. And then at the end of the day, when you tally it up, it's going to come down to who made the most plays. And, I think our guys are ready to compete and see what happens.
John Wong.
Hey, Brad, congratulations. How much sleep are you getting?
You know what? She's been a great sleeper so far. So I'm, and knock on wood, had plenty of sleep. And the sleep that I've lost is not related to her. It's more about Auburn. So.
Yeah. Speaking of which, there's been a lot been made about the physicality of Auburn. And both Coach Stoops and Coach Grant had addressed that they were confident that Kentucky was going to come out and be physical. How confident are you about the defense coming out and doing their part?
Well, I mean, if you're a defensive coach and you say your guys aren't going to come out and be cool, we got all kinds of issues. Now, obviously, we hope that we come out and we're swinging from the start. You just these first games, they're always interesting. You just never know. Early momentum swings. You've seen a lot of these games that have played so far. Some teams get up big and they continue that roll. Some, if you can't keep that momentum going, you saw the big comeback obviously there with Tulane and Navy, and so we've just got to be physical from start to finish. I think our guys are prepared to be physical, having to go against our offense every single day. We know, the physicality that they play with. And so I think it's helped ingrain it, Coach Stoops' mentality here. And our players reflect that. They reflect Coach's mindset, and I expect them to come out and play physical. I expect Auburn to come out and play physical, and we've got to match their intensity. And at some point we have to exceed that if we want to win this game.
I've got one more if this is okay. You mentioned, Brad, how blessed you feel to be part of this coaching staff. Even from those of us on the outside looking in, there does seem to be some connection, something special about it. Coach Grant has a very emotional homecoming coming up. Do you sense any additional incentive for everyone to kind of win this one for him?
You know what? You always want to win those for the people that you're close with, and I think he would be the first one to say, I think our team wants to win this one for the team. They want to win this one for themselves. Now, do we want to, obviously from a homecoming standpoint, leave there with the win for Coach Grant? Absolutely. He's got a lot of great memories there. Hopefully we can get him another win right there at Jordan Hare, because he's had plenty under his belt, when he was there. But when you talk about the camaraderie, amongst the staff, amongst the players to the staff, we want it as much for them as we do ourselves. And so we want these wins for the players. The players want it for their teammates as much as they want it to win, so that in 5 years they can say they won at Auburn. They want to win as a team. So that's what I think so special about this group and how tight-knit they are. And hopefully that pays off, especially, in close games in the fourth quarter, that there's that trust in each other, and that love of brother, that when a play needs to be made, they're going to rise up pull together and make that play.
Got time for one last one. Nick, go ahead.
Gus Malzahn and Chad Morris, they've made a lot of money playing tempo. What kind of problems does that pose for your defense?
Yeah, the tempo game, it's the communication piece, like we talked before, that they have to be able to, our players have to be able to get the call from the sideline, look at the formation, get the check needed, get their eyes right, get their feet right, get their positioning right. And, when everything happens fast, right, you just have to do it quicker. And you can't be worried about catching your breath. You just have to play. And hopefully we've done a good enough job repping at a higher tempo that our guys are ready for that. But again, until they experience it firsthand, until they're going full speed, we always talk about that first drive. You got to blow out your lungs a little bit. Even if it's a 4-play first drive, the guys will come off and they're going to be breathing like it was a 14-play drive. It's just the way football is, that between the adrenaline, the first game jitters, the intensity of, amped up on game day, then you throw in tempo. I mean, our guys just have to manage that sort of physically and emotionally, and just keep an even keel, not get too high, not get too low, get the calls, make the checks, and play.
A quick follow-up. You have strength in numbers, but how does the tempo make just getting guys in and out difficult?
Oh, it makes it real difficult in terms of if they're going without subbing, then we can't really sub. If we get a chance to sub, then hopefully we can get that done and get guys in and out to use that depth. But you'll have to use it by drive. And I tell the defense all the time, if you want to get off the field, get off the field. You can get off in 3 plays or less, but you've got to do it. And so if you want to stay on the field all day, well, then let them gain yards. If you want to get off the field, stop them in 3 and out, and then you can come get a Gatorade.
All right, guys, we'll get players up here as soon as we can.